G'day. Just a quick catch up on the meme stocks. Just going to start with GME. GME, I'm looking here really at the liquidity sentiment or relative liquidity. It has eased up a little bit. We've had some tightening today, but it has eased up over the last week. We had a lot of selling into the market. And we can see here that it's pretty low. It has just started to dip, as I said, but if we look across, it's about the same period the same place that we had with our last earnings. So we just really need a catalyst. If I just quickly have a look here at the S&P 500, we can see that the gamma, or the black line there, just take all the other lines out so they're not in the way. If we look at that gamma, the gamma is very high, really, very high for positionally, as high as we started to be through October going to December, where we did see the last high in GME. So that high gamma is pushing us up. At the moment, we've got quite the indexes are spreading that vol out, or the dealers are spreading that vol out amongst different places within the indexes. If we go and have a look, this is the 2023, so this is about July, August here. This was the last time we had a bump from GME, and you can see the sort of high level we're at. If we then go back into 2021, this is about the same period. We've got this very high gamma, so you can see that we've still got a little way to go to get ignition. We're about the same place as we were, just a bit below where we were when we got ignition back in July. Now let's just have a look. So there is some dispersion going on. That dispersion is likely to happen. Maybe we're going to be into next month before we see an event. If we just have a look at the back of the market, here I'm just looking at the short dated IV, make it a little bit shorter. We did see this quite large bump on the 20th, and that gave us a takeoff. And since then, we've seen it continuing to pressurise, but we haven't seen another bump. We really need to see another bump. If we actually look at the GME itself, we're straight into some good buying here. So I'm expecting to see the same sort of melt up as James Rowland describes, same sort of melt up that we saw here in this period, with the increased buying, or DPI, just slowly pushing that price up, and then hopefully at some stage we end up in this sort of situation where we get a little bit of a blow off. If I just have a look at the DPI, so we've looked at the DPI there, we've looked at the IV. Where are we with a 30-day IV? Let's just take some of these out, take the gamma out, liquidity out. So the IV is really quite low at the moment, and you can see we didn't really click until the IV was a little bit higher. So we do need that high IV to start to move a little bit. In the 30-day, you can see here again in April last year, moving into that June-July event, we did kick off from a reasonably low place, and we climbed into it pretty quickly. We haven't seen that. We're seeing individual moments of it at the moment. If I just go back and we'll just quickly go back across and see what else is happening. The DSPX is at this very low level again, which is really good. It's getting us back into that level that we saw during our breakout last year, and back into the sort of levels that we saw back in 2021. It's not showing us the 2021 period. I used to measure it off VIX to show dispersions, very similar sort of measure. Now let's just have a quick look around. So at the moment it is being spread through lots of different places. If we look up and down, we're seeing some large movements there. At the moment, AMC is the next thing that I can see has got quite a lot of charge. It's got quite a lot of charge coming through here. It might look like it's blown off, but actually what I think is this is going to roll over and re-tighten that. So at some stage we might see a little bit more of a pullback, but as this rolls over and the market tightens, I think AMC is looking pretty good there. Beyond is the thing I like about Beyond is, yeah, we've got this price increase. It's not horrendous, it's about 50%, but I think the charging was bigger than that. So I'm still interested to see. It has loosened up a little bit. Let's see where it gets to. Cooler, the IV in Cooler is just great. Let's have a look. So you can see this long charge here. So we've had a lot of charging coming off. This is a little bit reactive, and then we've had this causal here, and we entered the second lot of it. Now the actual sentiment has seen one charge, and it's starting to see another charge now, or maybe it's a little bit of reactive. Series, the other one here. Oh, actually, let's just have a quick look at what it looks like at the back of Cooler. Cooler is interesting. It's had a little bit of a pump, but really the nice thing about Cooler is that it's had this very, very strong. We've got IV staying reasonably high, but really strong DPI. So we've got this real loading on top of a relatively loaded position anyway. So having this added, as soon as it gets going, this sort of IV, we can see something happening. If we look at it, we can see that we've had a lot of these in the money puts dropping out, and we've had a big building in the longs, which is forcing the market makers to buy the market. I don't think there was a great deal in the back. We have had a couple of little touches recently. Oh, it doesn't even like what I've put in because I have got the L wrong. So we just fix the L in there. We've had these couple little bumps. The main bumps were back here on the 10th of April, and then pushing it on the 24th of April, and finally we got a push up on the 8th of the 5th, which gave us this great start on the 8th of the 5th. If I just go down to on the 8th of the 5th. So this is the 8th. This is about where the bump happened. So I'm looking to see one of those bumps. We can see these charges that have gone through. Looking for one more of those bumps. Other interesting stocks. Let me see. Xenex has had a really big charge compared to any distribution within or price gains within the stock itself. So I think that's looking pretty hot. Quick rundown. I think I got down as far as Sun was the next one. I thought looked pretty good. Again, we've had these charge events. They're little charge events. We've got another one starting here. We can just see this starting to push. Be interesting. I think it might have a bit more of a pullback before it gets charging. We've got a high roll in the indexes today, so that will spread it around. And we had quite a lot of buying in the Mag 7, so I'm expecting to see a bit of distribution there. There's a lot of Tesla people playing, and there's some people playing for some bit more mean reversion. Rocket Lab was the other one I thought looked pretty good. Rocket Lab had this good pressurizer, got us up to this price, and now it's dropped down in again. But if I look at it where it is fairly tight. It could drop down here quite quickly into a tighter position. The last one we were just adding was Orange Cloud Technology. Don't quite know what they do. I think they've got maybe they've got something to do with competing with Elon Musk. Anyway, as we can see, we've had a good bump. We've had a couple of buys going into it, and we've then had this good bump today, and we can see it tightening here, and that looks like it could push it down a little bit lower. So the things to remember is we've got a low DSPX, we've got high gamma, so we're getting distribution amongst the market. We've even got high gamma in the next index, the Russell index, which is an unusual thing, but it is high gamma for the current price structure. So if we just have a look at that, we can see that it's about as high as it's been for a long time, and so is the price. Oh, I've clicked on Rockets instead of Russell. I do apologise. I did think that was a little bit high. We'll just quickly look at this again. Here we can see we've got this high gamma here, and that is causing a lot of this squeeze. We haven't seen it since the time that we got takeoff, which was just about here. We got takeoff in GME, very similar coincidental indicators starting to take play there. Anyway, thanks for listening. That's my quick market wrap on where we are with a couple of mean stocks. It's a really good position at the moment. We've got high gamma, we've got low DSPX. We're going to still continue to see things jumping and banging around, and hopefully we can pick up some of the finer details that get them to fly. Have a great week's trading.